Well, 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 well. Let's see what we got here. Hang on. Oh, shit. Wow. Hey, well, good evening, folks. It's your favorite host. Uh-oh, wait a second. We have feedback. Okay, there you go. I spur of the moment. I just decided I was going to stream, and yeah, I did send an invite to what you call Cletus. I'm not sure if he just out of the blue, right? Like no warning. I just sent him a link to funny. I'm just opening up a few windows, just looking. How the hell you been? I see Carl in here. He actually took time away from his firmament studies and joined us here. We got Lucky in here. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm not going to pull a Dago and just name everybody that comes in. I probably could, though, because there aren't going to be that many. And during the election cycle, things get crazy. I go off in the different directions and start looking at a lot of stuff. And I in all fairness, didn't want to swamp everybody with my political opinions. You know what I mean? I got opinions, and all kinds of different things. Oh my God! But what a crazy course of events! It's become the nation's largest spectator sport. Our political process, and it's you call it crazy, you can call it ingenious, call it whatever you want, but it's like the greatest show on earth. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. Present. Let me see what I have. Share screen. So, let's see here. What do we got? There it is. The 270 to winning is what I kind of want to share. Yeah, there you go. You guys can see that screen, right? See that big, glorious map of the United States and where we are. And been reading. Just put wheelie bins to the curb. That's right. I'm a proud fucking piece of garbage. Love it. I mean, that's like the least insulting thing I've ever been called is garbage. That really, yeah, that fits. I think we should all wear garbage bags to the polls. Make shirts out of them. Put your arms out. You know what I mean? Turn it into into an outfit of garbage bags when you go to poll. Let them tell you can't vote because for that. That shit would be funny. There's a lot of voting shenanigans going on in a lot of spots. I'm going to say to you, there's definitely a couple of important things that I'd like to add to the observations, things that are being spread across the country that I think are total bullshit. Absolute total bullshit. Let's see here. Yeah, we got some views on X. I'm going to say hi all to the people on X. Rumble, we may have some people on Rumble. Let's see. Rumble, no. Rumble is dead. And on YouTube we have a few. So yeah. Here's what I want to do though, folks. I want to make a couple of points that I think should resonate with most everyday people. One of the things that have happened and we've become accustomed to is that the low-income voter, which generally resides in large urban areas and within the states, large cities, where you have a concentrated quantity of low-income people, right? For whatever reason. And it doesn't even really have to have a race attached to it. It's just simply people that are in disadvantaged areas, where opportunities have been crushed, where the bus line never runs on time, where your opportunity is Taco fucking Bell. I had to spit out that fucking word because you guys know me. I'm like a miserable prick, and I kind of like wearing that hat. So here. So what you don't see, folks, in any of these discussions from any of these grandiose fucking well-established is you don't see any of them examining the low income voters. And that's where the election is going to be changed. That's where the outcome of this election becomes crazily unpredictable from their point of view. These people are taking polls of people that are answering their phone, and maybe they've got a cycle of people that they'll talk to. And all of these media outlets are telling you Kamala's right on Trump's heels. And it's the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. That's literally like saying, okay, that you have a fucking Prius and you're running neck and neck with my Corvette, my 130 mile an hour and 10-second car. Your fucking Prius is starting neck and neck with me. The only time that Prius was next to me was when the fucking thing pulled up to the line. That was it. It was never next to me ever again throughout the whole race. And for some reason, people refuse to look at the election map that way. I mean, in the city of Chicago, the low-income residents are having their own Trump rallies. You know, it's incredible to me that these pollsters, these well-established, we know what's going on, we've got the pulse of the country, are not even taken into consideration what a low-income voter is. And let me just give you an example. I'm a low-income voter in as much as I come from a low-income family. Okay. And so there's a lot of things that I do that people that are at my income level don't do, because obviously I've grown, things have changed. And so this has got nothing to do with bragging or anything like that. It's an example. So I did come from low income, welfare recipient family. And in that environment, there's certain things that you do with your money. One of them is you buy these ridiculously non-nutritious fucking salt-infested snacks, sugar-infested snack. That's what you do. That's what low-income people do. And what none of the pollsters are factoring in, because none of these fucking people go to these locations and buy these particular things. I do. I'm not afraid to go to any area and stop and get gas and buy some shit in the store. I don't give a fuck where it is. The inner city, the outer city, the up city, the down. If I'm there, I'm doing what I got to do and move on about my business. Okay. And when you go in, you tell a low income guy that stuff went up 30%, he doesn't really know what you're saying. Or he does know what you're saying, and he thinks 30% of $10 is $3. Well, that's not how things have changed. I'll give you a quick example of why I suspect these pollsters are all sucking their own dick, and they're not really paying attention to the electorate. You could go into any corner convenience store where all of us already know the prices are super high compared to a grocery store, compared to Walmart, right? I always am in one of them little convenience stores. I have always gone in there and bought stuff. I know I'm paying more, but it's convenient. It's like a block away. All right. So they do really serve the community for convenience. And so I'm always conveniently around the convenience store, and I do provide them with my business. And in the exercise of this activity, this is what you'll understand. This is what the low-income voter understands. Is I could buy a bag of Doritos and a can of soda, okay? Can of pop, whatever you want to call it. I could buy that for $1.68 when Trump was in office. The soda and the bag of chips. The soda was about 69 cents. The bag of chips was definitely 99 cents. Sodas could have been 50 cents or a quarter. It really depended on what you were buying. They could have been more. But let's just go with the idea that a soda and a bag of chips. A bag of chips, no questions asked, in a convenience store, single serving bag of chips. Not the tiny one, but a nice one. Your hand fits in the fucking bag. Your whole hand will fit in the bag and disappear. That chip, folks, was 99 cents. Today, in the same store, it's $2.49. $2.49. That's not a 30% markup. That's an incredibly large markup. The candy bar, that at its highest that I remember when Trump was in office, was like $1 or $1.25. That same candy bar is $2.77. It's incredible how much these things have gone up. And the point that I'm making is that it's that particular group of voters that don't want nothing to do with Biden. Don't want anything to do with Kamala Harris. Don't want anything to do with the Democrats. Okay? And it's that part of the country that nobody is polling. Listen, when I come in and I say things like, and I've been saying this for a long time, you guys know this. I said Virginia was in play. And not just Virginia. Okay? But Illinois is in play. And they're in play, folks, because they have a large low-income voter group. They have a large fucking black voter group, making these states vulnerable to take over from Trump. Because I'm telling you, folks, you can't buy $10 in gas and a bag of chips for $11 now. Now it's $12.50. And the bag of chips you got, read the quantity that's in the bag of chips. The bag of chips don't hold quite the amount of chips that you sold for 99 cents. So you're like, what the fuck, man? You can't even enjoy the simple, even though it's bad shit and people may not be tuned into this. Go buy in a store, go buy a family size bag of chips. They were $1.99. Now they're $5. They're $4.49 to $5.99 for a bag of chips. Fucking potato chips are $6 a bag. How the most the most simplistic of fucking snacks. How could that be? And this folks is where the election, the pollsters, the media, this is the part of the election that nobody's paying attention to. But yet lately, over the last several days, you are witnessing people showing you, even CNN, that Trump is ahead in the swing states. And I'm telling you, this isn't a swing state race. That's the important thing here. This is not a swing state race. This is a race for the pocketbook of the American people. That's what this is. And in that pocketbook, I'm sorry, I feel like covering all states red. Because every state has a huge population of low-income people that all know whether they get their money from food stamps, whether they get their money from Social Security or whatever. All these fucking people know that a bag of chips is now $2.49 when it used to be $1. They're not stupid. They know. Where they could buy 2.5 bags of chips under Trump. Now they can only buy one. Listen, and they're human beings like you and I. This is the part of the electric that when you talk about people that aren't being counted, people that get ignored, that part of the electric certainly gets ignored. And especially in this particular contest. Let me make another point that none of these pollsters seem to want to discuss, and the media and anyone else that surrounds themselves in politics. Every time a vice president has ran for the office of the presidency, okay, to succeed the president, okay, that they worked with, every single time that's happened, they lost, except twice, since 1836, okay? And every time they've done that, they have to overcome a 5% handicap, okay? Historically, it's shown that when a vice president decides that they're going to try to continue on the work of their fucking president and they run for office, they start out negative 5% in the fucking polling averages. That's just the way it's always been. And I don't really dive into try to get these, big, giant, deeply thought out fucking insights. I'm just telling you what the numbers have shown over the centuries, okay? Because, we've been around a couple centuries, folks. We can use that word comfortably in America. So here we are in an election with a vice president to replace a president of a failed administration that are on whole difference, the cost of health care, the cost of gas, the war. But I'm telling you, it's the guy that buys a small bag of potato chips. That guy is a huge part of the electorate. And no one's paying attention to that guy, which is just the way it is anyway. We all know that. There's just marginalized fucking parts of our nation. So when you go through this, and look, the one person that does get this, I think he gets it without any hesitation, is Trump. Trump didn't go to New York State, folks, because fucking is trying to, appease his narcissism, and he is a narcissist. Come on, Trump is a lot of fucking things. A saint is not one of them. Maybe he can work his way to sainthood, but he ain't there yet. Okay, so he's all kinds of things. So let's look at why would Donald Trump? He didn't go like he did the last time. Donald Trump came into my part of the state. I live in Western New York. Okay, we're more favorable to the Republican message. We're more favorable to the message for business and taxes, right? That's where Trump campaigned. Now, in 2024, he's campaigning in areas where that guy can't buy that bag of potato chips as frequently as he likes, or his Doritos, or his Cheetos, or his whatever. He's in the Bronx. He's down in Madison Square Garden. He's going into the belly of the beast in New York State. He's going to the section of New York State that has the highest concentration of low-income voters than any other part of the state. Matter of fact, probably than all different cities in the state combined. And that's where Trump is fucking going down the campaign for votes. And this isn't something because he's trying to pat himself on the back, or because any other, and this is highly ignored. This is the other thing too. This is highly ignored by political people and people that do polls and people that give the news to you, or the fake information they present to you as news. They're not telling you strategically, why would Trump do that? Why is Trump going to these lower income areas? Right? Why? Why is he going into Chicago to talk to the blacks and to talk to the Hispanic? Why is he doing that? And he's doing that for only one reason. It's the low income, low opportunity, depressed areas of the nation, okay, that have been added to his voting bloc, who consists of struggling working class, middle class America. Okay? So his coalition has now grown to include, and nobody talks about this, the broke guy, right? This guy that's really low income and struggling for whatever reason. I don't even, it's not even a judgment issue of why or how these people are stuck where they're stuck, but they're stuck in the same bullshit we are. How many of you, you go to order a pizza and the pizza's $35 or $40? Fucking pizzas used to be $12 to $15. And now they're crazy expensive. And that, folks, is what this election is about. That is what it's about. Now, take those people in those high fucking density, low income areas and start filling them with illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants to get to stay free in the hotel, get their food free, get their transportation free, get their health care free, kick your kids out of school so they can turn them into dormitories. These people in the low income areas they're not like okay with that at all. They're ridiculously furious over it. Really. And they deserve to be ridiculously furious. You got people coming out of the woodwork from all over the place. I'm standing in line, and the illegal immigrant gets their stuff, and they leave their paper behind, their receipt. You pick it up, and there's $13,000 of cash assistance and $3,000 of food assistance as their balance. Meanwhile, I can't even buy diapers for my kid. This is really happening. Americans are seeing this. And it's the coalition of the working poor, the disadvantaged poor that are on Social Security disability or Social Security itself, that get nothing to get by on, just enough to get by on, not to get by, just enough to get by on to keep fucking owing and borrowing and begging and stealing to fucking survive. The people that are too lazy to get a job, the people that can't get a job, the people for whatever fucking reason that they're low income people, right? Good, bad, and indifferent, are suffering way more than you or I. Listen, I find it offensive that these bags of chips are $2.49, not because they're taking my $2, but because they're doing that to people that don't have the kind of resources to be able to afford that. What you don't, a lot of people may not really internalize what it is to be poor. And some of life's pleasures when you're poor are that fucking bad fucking candy bar you're not supposed to eat, the sugar, the salt. Some of those are sinful pleasures when you're low income. And now you can't even enjoy your sinful pleasure because it costs too fucking much. You can't have a bag of chips every day. It costs $5 a week. Can't do that no more. It costs real money. Now it costs $12 to $15 a week. That's money when you add that up. $5 a week is $20 a month. $12.50 a week is $50 a month. Whoa. Holy fuck. You can't even have that simple pleasure with your everyday lunch. And this is where the Electoral College, this is where the map changes. This is where I suggest to be a Reagan-esque election. And that everybody is missing it. All of your people that are doing polls, all of the people that are in the media. And the one person that clearly isn't missing from what I can observe is Trump. I sent him a link. Don't you go there. I got proof right here on my phone. I sent this man a link. Let me see. There we go. Cletus, cell phone, sent and delivered. Sent and delivered. Finger girl. I sent him a link, Club. Yeah. I mean, come on. So, let me fill in this map. Based on my research, because I've spent a lot of time watching this stuff. Colorado, it's going to go Trump. New Mexico, go Trump. Georgia, obviously, will go Trump. North Carolina. The big one is Virginia is going to go Trump. Illinois is going to go Trump. Wisconsin's going to go Trump. They may win Minnesota. I don't know that they can win Minnesota. New York will probably go Democrat, but by a very small margin. Biden beat him by 23. A Democrat has never lost New York by less than double digits. And it's a cycle. It appears to me, I'm sorry, it appears to me that even New York is going to take a jump over. New Jersey. Where's New Jersey? Here. New Jersey's going to go to way in New York. And New York and New Jersey, the states are fucking fed up beyond imagination. They're not having this shit anymore. Look, here's he threw his phone across from an hour ago, and he's in a mood today. Sick as a dog. Oh. Well, yeah, but they won in certain states. Listen, in order to win, they only beat Trump by 56,000 votes in 5 states. Just be aware of that, Clue. The election was stolen, and it was stolen because they had the election machines in the red district, which is being confirmed now, right now on Twitter. They're confirming that the machines are having a problem when people vote straight fucking across the ballot for one side or the other. Okay?
What's happening?
Me, your old lady's out here throwing like darts at me and then making excuses for you, and it's a crazy time.
Well, I didn't hear the damn phone go off. Hell, you ain't been.
Can you confirm I sent you a text prior to the show?
Yeah.
You can confirm. I'm gonna break her other finger.
Let me see, what time did this come? Yep, you did 2 minutes prior to show.
Prior to the show, you know, as the responsible adult that I am, okay.
If you break my finger, do I get to whine like you did when yours was hurting?
But it wasn't my finger. It was a major shoulder injury. That, by the way, I fully recovered from. What?
Before that, you had a finger injury, remember?
Sure did.
We don't worry about old injuries. This was recent.
How's your shoulder?
My shoulder is 98% better.
Good.
There's a little bit of issue, but nothing that keeps me from sleeping.
Well, there you go.
You know, what the hell? My fingers all smell good. Yeah. What we can say for Clue? Back to the map. Listen, California is gonna go for Kamala Harris, but it's not.
Your mic sounds like shit.
What do you mean? It sounds like
it's cutting in and out real bad.
Uh-oh. What do I do?
I don't know.
Let me see. That's YouTube.
It's got a bunch of static in it.
That's Twitter. I'll drop that. Does this help? I just dropped Rumble.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're sounding clear.
All right, so listen, here's what I want folks to just consider. I'm saying that this is a landslide like 1984. And it's going to be a landslide, and people are going to act surprised when I suspect that many people are highly aware of what's going on. And it's the working and non-working poor that have joined the Trump coalition. Not because they like Trump, not because of anything like that, but because they're sick and tired of seeing all the money being given to foreign wars, to illegal invaders, and to a $2.50 bag of chips that just within their recent memory was 99 cents or less. These people are livid, man. And they're not fucking having it anymore. And they're going to vote for Trump, not because they like Trump or they want to be your pal. Is it kicking the balls to the Democrats? And here's three other particular situations that really pertain to the black community. Okay? One of them, the biggest recent one is, can you imagine telling all of these people the free Beyonce concert? And they all 30,000 plus people all packed this fucking auditorium and packed the outside for a Beyonce concert at a Kamala Harris rally, and Beyonce comes in and talks for 4 minutes and walks out. I mean, this is the epidemic that's caused these people to switch sides. They've been promised shit and told that you and I and anybody connected to Trump are racist. And so that's the justification. Being able to hate us for their woes. Then the issue. Well, before any of the and Biden done, before that, there were a lot of people in those communities waking up to the idea that they keep getting these promises and they get no results. Then the chips went up to $2.50 a bag. And I'm telling you, I think that I'm going to call this the potato chip election. When a single serve bag of chips goes from 99 cents to $2.50, then you need to be aware that whoever can offer a correction to that direction of fucking pricing is going to be the winner. In all your states, it doesn't matter what state you are. I don't care if you could track California voting fucking Democrat since before it was founded. That state's in danger of being taken away from you because of the potato chip cost. This is an election of potato and eggs. It literally is. And I'm stunned that more electors don't pay attention to this.
So this map that we're looking at, is this one that you made, or is this the current?
This is a map to manipulate.
Okay, I got you.
So it comes from, and I say that I'm not hiding anything. It's called 270 to win, 270towin.com, and it's an interactive map. All of us can play with and click different states and colors and yeah.
Okay.
So this is the potato chip election of 2024.
Look, you need to get your microphone out of that bag of potato chips because that shit is still crackling up.
I can't imagine why. You sure it's not your end?
No, I heard
anyone in the audience. What?
I heard it on the
they've already been saying it.
Yeah, I heard it on the television whenever we discovered you were live.
How about now when I'm at the right mat? Does that fix it?
No, I didn't even understand everything you said.
No.
Ain't that shit, man? All right. Let's see here.
And see, now it's stable.
Now it's okay?
Yeah, now it's fine. It seems like.
All right. So we're going to call this the tater chip election.
Yeah.
When you can't afford a damn bag of tater chips, shit is bad, okay?
Yeah.
And the person prior to you had maintained prices that were affordable. Even if you were poor, you could enjoy your bag of chips with your lunch every day. Now, that part of the America, even potato chips have been snatched up under the rug of these poor people. Bad snack food has been fucking snatched out from underneath their grasp.
Can't even afford a damn Snickers.
Jesus Christ, the Snickers bar is like gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and how about eggs, man? Like milk is $5.99 a gallon. It was $1.99 at a corner store. And I keep pointing out corner store because Their business all comes from the working and the low income people. That's their market. And it was $1.99 when Trump was in office. My corner store now is $5.99. But it only went up 30%. I wish 30%. I wish I could raise my prices in business 30% and get that kind of return.
Yeah,
Right?
no shit.
This shit went up $4, man.
It's that fuzzy math. Oh wait, that wasn't Biden. That was somebody else.
Yeah, who did that fuzzy math? I forget that was during one of our elections.
That was George Jr. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Bush boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look at the map quite differently than a lot of these pollsters do, because I simply pay a lot of attention to the people that struggle, and they're not getting any consideration. And pollsters, they just naturally assume that you live inside of a blue city that you're going to vote blue, right? And most of your inner cities are blue, are Democrat strongholds, and in a lot of states, it doesn't matter if the state. Like go to Florida. There's a couple of big cities in Florida that vote blue.
Yeah.
So you always have a high concentration of city votes that vote blue all over the nation. Trump is crushing it in Florida, and he's probably going to win Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, that'll be something to see.
You know, and that's the part that they're not accounting for, and they're telling us all these stories that, you know, Trump has got 49, Kamala's at 48.5. Yeah, amongst the jerk-offs that you've been polling for the last jerk-off fucking decades, right? You were totally wrong in 2016, and then in 2020 you were totally wrong, but the difference being, and I got blocked by Sidney Powell, I got blocked by General Flynn, I got blocked by a ton of people when I showed evidence that Trump lost the election in the red districts, that the red districts where the criminal activity took place, and that the ballot stuffing that they kept pounding you on TV and these big Twitter accounts kept showing you was the illusion. There isn't enough single voter Democrats. There isn't enough electorate that you could fill a box like that and take out 5 states. There just isn't enough votes to steal and do that with. However, if the expected vote for the red candidate, let's say it's supposed to be expected to be 1 million, or it was 1 million in the last election. Let's not even expect it. I can show you it was 1 million in the last election. In this election, in the same district that needs fracking or it dies, that needs oil drilling or it dies, in the election where he then ran against Biden, he didn't get 1 million votes. No, he didn't get it at all. He got 787,000 votes. And he still crushed Biden. But Biden just happened to pick up a couple 100,000 votes there, which then narrowed the gain that Trump was getting in the red. You see? That's how the election was stolen. It wasn't stolen. And it happens in all elections. It was taken through cheating in the red district that nobody went back to verify except an idiot like me that compared the 2 elections, and an Indian mathematician that said that is the only way, mathematically, the only way Joe Biden could have won the election is if red states had votes taken from red districts. So you go to Georgia, it's a red state. There's blue in there. Go to most of these states, Pennsylvania, 80% of the landmass is fucking red. And it's the little areas, these big cities that are blue. And there isn't enough concentrated vote, even though they can win the state in like a local election, because it's local to the city. Statewide, they can't win in a presidential election in those blue areas without some of the red voters going with them. And that, so in that instance, in any major election in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in Arizona, in all of our states, it isn't just one party's vote that picks a candidate. It's a combination of both parties, always. Independents. And so if you take in Texas, for instance, Trump didn't barely won Texas by like 5 points or something. How could Texas be that close of an election?
Yeah. No, I agree with that completely.
How many feminine dudes are in Texas? For fuck's sake, the first thing you'd want to do is move out. Go live with Tim Walz, right?
Honestly, I mean, is Texas that surprising when you think about the makeup of Texas in terms of its population? Because I mean, I would imagine that the majority of its population live in, Houston and Dallas Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah,
and your metro areas are typically blue. They seem to go blue more times than not.
right. But
So,
here's what you could see if you go look at the 16 and 20. You'll see that dyed-in-the-wool red areas that really crushed it for Trump in 16 didn't crush it as hard in 20. How does that make any fucking sense? Oh, your only existence, the only reason your town is called fucking garbage can fucking fracker, right? Whatever the town name is, could be fucking Paris, fucking Pennsylvania. The only reason that town exists is for fracking and oil. That's it. Otherwise, it never even would have been created. Okay. And Biden tells you he's going to kill the pipelines, he's going to stop digging for coal, and he's going to stop fracking. And you mean to tell me that 18% more of you voted for the Democrat this time than you did for Hillary? Doesn't make no fucking sense, bro. Yeah, I don't know. It's like pissing on me and telling me it's raining out. I'm sorry. But I'm going to do have you ever done a one-handed clap with anybody? Have you ever done that before?
No, I haven't.
Is Clue there?
She's out of the room at the moment.
She can't hear this?
All
right, so ask her if she knows what a one. Right.
Hold on.
We're gonna test the unis of fucking Cletus. And that's a reference. Listen.
Do you know what a one-handed clap is?
No, you can't. You got to smack her after she says no.
Oh. That's the one-handed clap.
Yeah. How else can you do it?
I know. I didn't know.
Well, I
thought it was like a high five or something. I don't know.
No. One-handed clap. Somebody.
That's funny.
Oh man, I thought you knew that, but you didn't. But you should have done it without her present, and then you should have asked her. You know what a one-handed clap is, and then when she said no, you give her.
No, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He was like, "Is Clue there?" I said, "She's not in the room," and I said, "Hold on a minute." And I thought he wanted me to ask you. If
he wanted me to explain to him how he could slap his fiancée and her not get mad. That's what he was looking for. But,
You're breaking up again, Sarge.
Bad.
One-handed. There is. You know how to do a handed clap?
I couldn't make that out, Sarge. That's how bad it is that you're breaking up. Like I couldn't understand what you said.
Really? All right, I'm going to take the map down. Does that help?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Does that help? By taking the election map off of the screen? So there's such a thing as there's a no-handed clap, and that would be doable by sleeping with one of the whores that are voting for fucking Kamala. That's how you do a no-handed clap, right? Requires penicillin and other medication, but
What did he just say?
He said there is such a thing as a no-handed clap, and you get that by sleeping with one of the whores that's voting for Kamala.
Oh my God.
Oh fuck, that's funny.
Yeah, it's strange, but it's true.
This is why I tell people when they come into Clue's chat or anywhere that she's at and they get mad at her, I'm like, if you want to get fucking mad, go watch Sarge. He'll piss you off in 5 seconds flat.
That's what I'm good at. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Wow. As you're on.
Yeah, and I don't take too kindly to being questioned. You know what I mean? I just that big job I just did.
Yeah.
Well, that guy asked for another quote because there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 sections to this project, and I've done 2 of them. So I gave him a quote. He's like, "No, that can't be right." It's smaller. I'm telling you, it's not small. It is. I've owned the building. I said, I'm not going to argue with you. Guess what? Go find someone else to do the job then. Don't bother me again. Right? And this guy just filled my pockets in a big way, but I don't give a fuck. Don't even question me when it comes to my business. I would never fucking lie for $1 that way. I believe that. I just wouldn't. And the way he responded, I was like, yeah, I said, call someone else. Go ahead. Go. Don't ask me to do anything again. And I hung up the phone on the guy. Well, he come crawling back.
I do have a question for you related to the election. So she just turned the phone around and said, as you guys are sitting here talking about this just came up on her phone. And I've seen this in thumbnails talking about election day violence. And it seems to be this big narrative that's being pushed. And I'm like, I don't understand it. What do you make of that? You think it's just a ploy that they're using to try and remind everybody of January 6th and trigger people's emotions?
It may happen in some what they consider swing states, but I think what's going to happen is as the early results start to come in, I think they're going to see the futility of what's available to them. Yeah. I think more what's going to likely happen is they're going to do what Trump told Pence to do, which was not certify the results. Pence should not have recertified the results. That fucking stupid, cuckolded fucking right-wing piece of fucking dog shit. But he did. Okay. And that Kamala is the vice president, right?
Yeah.
So whoever is to certify, my understanding is the president of the Senate that does that. And isn't the president of the Senate the vice president of the United States?
Yep, it is.
I don't know. So if they don't want to certify it, then you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to see people then wanting to fucking take to the street. Yeah. However, as far as election blocking people from voting, some of that's happening now, and they're going to try to bait people like you and I into violence. That's what they did on that January rally with Trump.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody went there with the intent to create violence. As a matter of fact, Catherine Heritage just released a finding of law that shows that these people have done, that they interfered in January 6th. She also just produced a report showing, as a matter of law, that the Hunter Biden laptop was suppressed intentionally by those investigating it to help Biden. They all knew it was real. They all knew it wasn't Russian disinformation. They forced Facebook and others, Twitters, to take anything about the laptop down and ban the user that brought it forward. I suffered from being kicked because of that. As a matter of fact, the reason I got booted was because I showed clearly, unquestionably, that the man that Hunter Biden cried about was killed as being one of the top richest 40-somethings in the world was the actual owner of the company that was trying to make the Russian oil deal with Russia that for years the Democrats kept blaming the Trump campaign. They accused the Trump campaign of Carter Page of accepting a deal with Rosneft Oil. That deal was a real deal, but the players were Hunter Biden and that billionaire 40-something-year-old that was killed in China. Okay, I pointed that out and got banned from fucking Twitter immediately. And the reason I able to make that connection was because it was in the Hunter Biden laptop. But if you weren't looking at the laptop for information to confirm or deny the allegations that were already in the public, then you wouldn't have caught that. But the fact that I saw that and produced that publicly got me banned. So all of these people, and that's the other part, the electorate, most of the low income and even passive voters don't pay attention to these details, right? And I was saying, when it came to the Democrats, how is it you can promise me for a Beyonce concert and then I show up and all I get is a Beyonce comment and she leaves? Isn't that what you've been doing to me for the last 60 years? Promising more money, promising more opportunity, promising better schools, and then doing fucking nothing but the opposite. A lot of Democrat voters are just furious over this. And when you have a group of low-income people that you're going to offer a concert that the tickets are unaffordable by most of the people that stood in line for that stupid fucking witch to see Beyonce in concert, the majority, rest assured, the majority of the viewership of that were low-income people that would never be able to afford a Beyonce concert. And then you fucking pull the rug out. It's like a Charlie Brown move. Somebody needs to make a meme of Kamala Harris being that Lucy on Charlie Brown, because that's what she does to people, bro. She's always yanking the fucking football away. She did it in another rally too, where she had promised people stuff and caused a surge of people. But here's the other thing too that no one's talking about. I'm surprised Trump isn't talking about this. Not to disparage Beyonce, but they drew 30,000 people. Trump drew more than that to Madison Square Garden on just his name.
Yeah.
Okay? He crushed it. He not only packed it, he had twice as many people outside. No guitar, no musical fucking promise, no concert, nothing. Now, did people show up that sang and told jokes? Sure. But they were never advertised to the public as being the attraction.
Yeah.
Just this fucking rat-haired, headed, fucking orange-haired guy. He's Trump. That's it. Come see Trump. And the next thing you know, there's 60,000 New Yorkers fucking banging the streets.
That's funny as hell.
And these are people that are low income. And I don't know why Trump isn't pointing that out. But not to belittle to belittle fucking Beyonce, but I mean that's kind of sad. The Kamala Harris rally, and you can only get 30. You should have had Woodstock fucking numbers turn out for her in a low income area, right?
Yeah.
With probably any other candidate, but that also shows you how unlike she is. And why? Because she's part of the last 4 years that kept this guy from buying his chips.
Did you see the image of her from McDonald's from back in the day that was actually not even her?
Yeah, it was made up, man. I mean, this woman is fucked up. She can't even. Yeah. Here's the other thing too. This is my only concern, is that this may also be an exercise in the final moment, because if you just follow what happened, it was a coup or an overthrow of an existing government. They overthrew Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
He was clearly the person the voters wanted. And they threw him in the garbage. And then, to be very honest with you, I think Joe Biden is fighting like the mayor of New York for a pardon from Trump. Okay? I think that there's a few people in different key states and different key Democratic positions that are doing some of the things they're doing because they know they're not just guilty of the crimes at hand, but they also know that they can't stop Trump. And so in their own way, they're helping Trump. When he comes out and he calls us all garbage. I mean, that was her historic fucking speech. That was her speech of all speeches the other night to present herself as somebody you should vote for. Standing in front of the White House, everything perfect, the stage all dramatized. And then Joe Biden comes out and tells you all Trump supporters are garbage.
I didn't see that, but I did see Trump in the garbage truck today.
That was why.
That's funny.
This woman gives the best appearance. Her speech was 23 times she mentioned Trump. And as a business owner, I know it to be true that there's no such thing as bad advertising.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's funny.
I don't know if you've seen his policies. He wants to get rid of income taxes completely.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
All overtime income taxes gone, at least at the minimum. That would go. Tips, no tax on tips. That would go. Here's the thing. And then Elon Musk and others going after the agencies within the government. That's where the fucking savings are. What the fuck do those people need $4 trillion, $5 trillion a year for? You can't run the federal government on $1 trillion? People can't even visualize what $1 trillion. It's a word. But if you saw $1 trillion in $100 bills, it fills a fucking football stadium 6 feet high.
Yeah.
That's got to be enough money. And if that's not enough money, then fucking close more of your departments. That's what right?
Yeah.
And so that's the other thing too, he said, is that he was asked, some unknown news fucking guy come out of nowhere, and he says, if you've made any mistakes when you were president the first time, can you identify one, what one of them were and what you're going to do different? And Trump actually answered that with considerable thought. And his reply was, I had the wrong people around me. I picked and entrusted people I shouldn't have. And he says, if you notice, there's none of them are around anymore. He goes, people you would expect that you could trust. They've been around for 20 years, 30 years. They're dying the wool Republicans. He goes, and They just didn't do what they had said they would do. He said, so this time around, I'm not going to associate myself. I'm going to be very careful with who I put around me. And then when you stand back and look at his team is absolutely devoid of any of the fucking people he was around the first time. They're not there to be seen. There's none. There's no Ted Cruz campaigning with him, going here, going, none of that. No Jeff Sessions, none of the politicians. Now, when he goes into their state as a matter of, you know, if I come into your house, I just can't go in your bathroom and take a shit. I got to come in your house and treat you with respect, right?
Right.
Right. I don't just go open your fridge and so when he's in Florida or something, a Rubio or somebody may show up on stage, but that's a customary sign of, you know, I'm in your state, kind of, you know, I'm in your house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very impressed with his answer to that, because that to me was the major issue of his campaign. Drain the swamp. Well, you were surrounded by the swamp. You can't very well drain a fucking ocean when you're in the middle of it, right?
But no, that's true.
But what have you two been doing in life?
Well, she's been rearranging or reorganizing the house in general. I've been dealing with fucking idiots for a while and studying for the FAA test I take this weekend.
To fly a drone, you need an FAA test?
To fly it and make money off of it, yeah, you do.
Oh, you're going to turn it into a business.
I'm going to see what I can get into with it.
All right, cool. How's Sebastian? Any word on him?
Nothing but you know, the drama. That's about it.
We got more buttholes drama, right?
Well, it went quiet, pretty quiet last week due to the Delphi trial and the Leilani Simon trial and the Sarah Boone trial. And you know, Betty had said that she was going to get back on it probably Wednesday, and sure enough, today's Wednesday, and it seems like it's fired right back up with the same old bullshit. So nothing new in terms of the case, though.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the idiot players are still being the idiot players that they've always been, right?
Yep. That's everybody's just doing their thing, right? Doing what they always do.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I was gonna do that. This is just, no matter what topic you go to, like I just want to open up YouTube, right? This is what kind of kept me away for a while and stuff. It drives me insane. You know, people put all of this shit out there. These fucking like Kamala Harris quits, and you know they'll say something about Idaho 4. Other parties involved. The new DNA analysis, and it's all lies to get clicks, right?
Yeah.
And people don't seem to give it a second thought. And they just click and they like the streamer and stuff. But why the fuck are all of these bullshit fucking titles being produced? That's just kind of shocking to me that we got to come up with just crazy fucking things, man. I don't know. Is there any new DNA in the Idaho 4 case?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
As far as I know, nothing has changed there.
I mean, we haven't been looking at it either.
No,
how about the Delphi case? What's changed in that?
Oh Lord.
I don't know that anything's really changed.
You're just hearing the stuff they had and didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a, you know, couple times a day you get a check-in from somebody that's actually there reciting what they took notes about from that day, because it's not televised. So I don't know.
How is it looking there as far as his guilt or innocence? I read a title today that said that there was a question about his confession as to whether it was even valid or even admissible.
Yeah, I mean, from what it seems like, there's question about the bullet, whether it was even found because they didn't take photos of it, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of doubt about that. There's doubt about his confessions. There's none of his DNA found, and the only DNA that was found was a hair that was in one of the victim's hands that belonged to her sister. So, you know.
Didn't belong to the killer, it belonged to her sister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wrapped around her finger.
Her own sister?
Yeah.
And is she connected to this accused?
No.
Not that we're aware of. I mean, at the end of the day, just from the bits and pieces that I've heard or seen, I don't know how you could convict him, but at the same time, I look at Leilani Simon, and that was when we got into the whole YouTube true crime thing, and we were pretty confident she did it. But watching her trial, I don't feel like the state did a good enough job of convicting her, of presenting their case.
Okay.
I don't know if she did it or not. It would seem pretty likely, but that I don't feel like the state convicted her. Based on what I'm hearing, I don't know that the
Well,
state is
it's
convicting.
like in Karen Reed, though, even the way the jury split. Jurors, for whatever reason, have a preconception that the person's guilty or they wouldn't be there at all. They had to have something to do with it. Why did they pick this guy? Did they pick him out of random? I mean, that generally is how, and that's the unspoken truth about a jury. I mean, if I see you sitting in front of you're the defendant in a case, Cletus. I mean, I naturally assume you have some involvement, and it's it's unfair, but that's just, I mean, what the fuck, man. If you were the last guy in the store and something's missing, I'm going to naturally assume you took it, right or wrong.
No, and I mean, I can understand that, but that's where I would be the asshole in the bunch, right? Because I don't give a fuck if 11 of you are convinced this person did it. I'm looking at what my job is, and that's to determine, did the state prove it beyond a reasonable doubt?
And the Karen Reed trial, there was no way to prove it when the key investigator couldn't even tell you where these things were, how they were measured. We never even saw the body, making all these determinations about her. His arm got hit by an SUV and it threw him 30 feet. And he don't know that it threw him 30 feet. He was told that's where the body was located. And he observed there were no footprints between the body and the road. So therefore, how about the cop that lied, that mirrored the image and knowingly lied to the jury that was an image proving that he was never on the side of the vehicle with the broken taillight, when in fact that image proved that he was there. How can any juror not if I was in that jury box, I'd have been fucking, like Mike Tyson going over a table to come kick your ass. The fuck do you think you are, cop? I'm not even accused and I'm going to beat your ass. Right?
Well, and I am curious to see the outcome of the Richard Allen thing, because if it's anything more than a hung jury, I don't know what to say. But I kind of felt the same about the Leilani Simon thing, because quite honestly, there were two other people that, based on the evidence they had, were equally as possible to have been guilty. I feel like they proved that she disposed of him.
Yeah.
But they didn't prove what happened. They didn't prove that she did anything to him. And, it was just, I don't know. It's kind of discouraging or disheartening, I should say, when you look at like the Karen Reed thing, the Leilani thing, what we're seeing of the Richard Allen thing. And it's like, y'all are prosecuting these people and you really don't have a fucking case.
No, but again, this is why I say people in true crime are a bunch of fucked up morons, because the reason these people are even brought to the limit of justice, to the question of justice in a courtroom, is because of the media. Because your elected officials and your public servants create a media storm against people, right?
Yeah.
In all fairness, there's no evidence connecting Bryan Kohberger to that crime. I don't give a fuck if you found transfer DNA. That's no evidence. There has to be a series of events that explains its placement, not he has to explain how it got there. It doesn't work that way. You, the fucking cop, have to explain an accurate, verifiably provable sequence of events that placed this transfer DNA on that fucking sheet. If you can't do that, then it's not relevant.
Well, there's still a grandfather clockmaker from Florida that heard a week or so ago that's still adamant that there's more evidence that they have that we just don't know about yet. So we'll see.
That's just, that's because, he's one of them fucking people. Right? Here's a guy that when asked a simple question, if your partner made a mistake on a big investigation, would you turn him in? And his answer was no. It would depend on what kind of mistake it was. And that's the fucking problem in the system. It's not up to the clock fucking guy that couldn't protect his mother from a grandfather clock crusher, right? It's not up to him. You know, even I got this huge TV. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Huge TV. And there's no one that lives here but me, but I have guests. I have company over. So I've set it up so that the TV, you can actually walk into it and hit it with your shoulder, especially if you've been, you know, like a lot of women like to drink their fucking wine. But my TV is attached to the wall in such a way, and it's on a stand, that even if you hit it with your shoulder, you can't knock it off the stand and you can't knock it down. Okay? You're going to hurt yourself.
Right.
Why wasn't the clock secured like that? This fucking genius. Okay?
Maybe that's what happened to Sarge's shoulder.
Is that what happened to your shoulder? You ran into your
No,
fucking
actually,
TV?
that shoulder, the shoulder came before the fucking the
yeah,
TV.
I know.
But no, the bottom line is that there's a job, there's the rules, there's the training, and this is your limit of what you're able to do. You can't determine whether your partner's mistake was big or not big.
Yeah.
It has to be part of your report. It's to the next guy above you that makes that decision. The commander, the fucking lieutenant, the fucking police chief, the fucking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but these guys are all, you know, I got a gun, I'm the law. Not the fucking law. You can't even fucking protect your mother from an inanimate object, you stupid fuck. Jesus Christ. Hi, John.
He said,
Aren't you glad you came back? You fucking twiddler. You know, it's just like, but this is how the system has worked. I mean, just look at the campaign of Kamala Harris, constantly attacking Trump. He's Hitler. He's this. He's that. He hates you. He's racist. And that's just sell hate. You get hate will overcome common sense. Can you agree with that? What happened to Cletus? Where'd you go? Maybe he hung up. I think that bastard did. The hell happened to you?
I don't know. You fucking kicked me or something.
I didn't kick your ass. You dropped off. If I kicked you, you'd be completely gone. But do you agree that hate overcomes common sense?
I agree that it can, and I agree that a lot of times it does. Yeah. Well, no, just by principle, yeah, it does.
Yeah, just by simple principle, it does. And that's all the Democrats sell is hate. And Trump has been pointing that out too, which to me, it sounds like someone's watching my feed. They're not.
That shit was so fucking funny when you texted me that. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said hate more times when it came to the Democrats in one discussion than I have. I was like, I don't even know. Look at somebody saying Sarge is on something. Listen, help desk. Tell us something from the help desk. You've had weeks to come up with something. What the hell have you been doing there, moderator?
Well, I can tell
hello?
I can tell you I know someone who was throwing his guts up this morning.
How fast did the projectiles come from his guts?
All I did was listen. I didn't go look.
Did you tell him to keep that stank in his side of the house? That's what I would have done. I'd have built me a wall.
All I know is I saw him running from the kitchen back to the bedroom in his Chewbacca robe.
Well, Cletus, is that something you could attribute to the type of food she served you?
No, I think it was
the food he made.
The food I made yesterday. We had about 6 pounds of sausage that had been in the freezer a while. So I took it out and was like, fuck this. I'm tired of it sitting in there taking up space. So I took it out, thawed it, bought some Bisquick and cheese, and made about 100 and some odd sausage balls, and proceeded to eat several of them yesterday. And yeah, this morning I woke up and been suffering from it all fucking day. But
you
it
didn't come from your own cooking.
It didn't come from Wild Fork. I should have known better.
Well, it didn't come from Wild Fork, which definitely delivers some good meat to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much of an issue with Wild Fork. I
Not
wish their steaks were a bit thinner, though. They do make but it's fine. I can live with it. I had their pork chops the other day, center cut pork chops, and those things had to be 2 inches thick, bro.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
awesome. Oh yeah, if you want to stuff a pork chop, buy them from there. Absolutely, yeah, no complaint on my part. The I sliced them in half though, so the 3 that they come in the package, I ended up with 6. Mashed potatoes, corn. Yes, sir.
We've been watching this show she stumbled across the other day called The Butcher. It's on the History Channel, and it's kind of like
Forged in Fire.
It's kind of like Forged in Fire, where it's blacksmiths, but this is butchers and it's competitions, and we've just been fixated on that shit for a couple of days, and I've learned more about different cuts of meat from different fucking animals than I really care to know, but I just get locked in on that shit.
Isn't it
What
funny?
is super interesting, knowing that if you cut it the wrong way, like against the grain, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, I always
Yeah.
like learning.
I've always been a little interested. Why is it that the animal gets renamed when it becomes food?
That's such a good question.
Some of them don't. Like chicken is chicken. Why? Why doesn't that get renamed? Right?
I
Fish
don't know.
is fish.
Well,
But when
it
you
does.
get into, I guess some of them don't, right? You get, but a cow specifically has many names. None of them cow.
Well, and pig is pork.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And cats and dogs is Haitian.
Only in Ohio.
Only in Ohio. Yeah, it's fucking epically awesome. I mean, I wonder if this fucking phone I got in my hand has a virus because it's fucking warm and the battery don't last for shit. My backup phone. My backup phone is failing me. I can't go backwards.
Oh hell.
Huh. What the fuck? I got a friend that I think when he steps backward, a fucking alarm goes off. He a big motherfucker.
His name's Seth.
Yes, sir. I don't want Seth stepping backwards without fucking mirrors hanging off the sides of his fucking head.
Oh fuck.
Jesus Christ. How's that bastard been?
Fat.
Fat. Fat. He's fatter. Well,
Yeah.
in summation of the stream that's gone all over the place but nowhere, I call this the potato chip election. Because when you can't even afford a bag of single serve fucking chips, something has to change. Okay. And the only change you have fucking to make is either Trump or Kamala. And Kamala, I don't even know, man. I know she supposedly sucked her dick to the top, but now she's just too old and raggedy that anybody want her to suck their dick. So she's coming down, so to say.
Oh my
Oh.
With that epic statement, I think we're going to cut the show off.
All right.
Cletus, thanks for stepping in. Thanks for all you folks that came by and listened. And we'll be back again. We just don't know when.